Hello fans of Marvel Heroes and friends of my channel, welcome to yet another mini episode of the Test Center coverage, biggest system update ever for the game Marvel Heroes. My name is Wilfred. I've been doing a lot of guides in the past and now I'm going through the review on the heroes as fast as I can for you all. And it all depends on how ready the hero is in the Test Center, because if they're not that playable, it's very hard to showcase to you how he plays. Like, I would like to take him to some of this like a Cosmic Time Square as well. And all the heroes I'm doing is for the same terminal, so we can sort of gauge, compare from one hero to another hero, where are all the area for improvement or some of the really overpowering kind of hero you can also see from there. And I hope all in all they should just balance everything out. Don't get too excited when some of your hero become very powerful and OP. I think by and large it shouldn't happen that way. The whole idea of having this one hotbar, the whole idea of having like all this like homogenized, normalized kind of gear is to make sure that heroes are by and large all rather equal. So that's how I feel about it. Now, a lot of you asked for Wolverine, and I'll just read out some of the name. It's for Alberto, James, Isaac, Jeffrey, as well as Red Laser King, and some of you who may have asked and I may have forgotten to write down because there's so many comments coming in. So this video is for you. I can understand why a lot of you asked for Wolverine. He's one of the most iconic comic book hero as well. So I think traditionally many people love Wolverine for many reasons. And so now as of today, if you look at Wolverine, he's pretty good at single target, but when it comes to the area kind of clearing, it doesn't really shine that way. So does it change in this kind of like a new update? Because if you look at Moon Knight also have some kind of like difficulties in clearing a lot of like area, doesn't really have a lot of visual effect and so on. But with the new update, Moon Knight has a lot more options for area. Not for Wolverine, at least not the build that I'm picking up. So just want to moderate your expectation. Having said that, if you do love the build you have in current live server, good news for you, because I don't think there's anything that changed. Well, nothing too much that has changed, and it could be good, could be bad, but to me it's all right, because I can still do my bleed, I can still do my impel, eviscerate, and all other things that come with it. So I'm kind of happy. Doesn't have to have a new build for all the heroes, but there are other build options as well. I'll show you in just a bit. All right. What other major changes are there for Wolverine except the of course the charges and so on? Is the signature. Now signature is the Furious Assault. I think in the live server now you have to press it like I don't know how many times, 4 or 5 times or whatever it is. I have no problem with that, but I think some people hated it because it's very clunky. Now it become like if you spam it, it'll hit it on its own, 7 hits I think, 8 hits automatically. Good and bad. I mean, it's easier to execute. However, if a boss move, then you'll be hitting air because you're rooted in one place. So you may like it, I may not. So, but that is just my personal take. Okay, now let's take a look at the power and talent and traits. So start with the traits first. He is archetype is bruiser, so it's great stuff. It's durability and fighting. Now why is it good? Because compared to say magic, it's energy and fighting, whereby she does like mentor as well as the mentor as well as summoner. Doesn't really make sense. For this one can't make sense because fighting is more like the plus basic boost, so you can boost the basic. That's good. Durability, I think is good for him. I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of area damage, but he has at least the build that I picked doesn't really have a lot of area damage, but at least get a little bit more health and defense. Always good for melee hero like Wolverine. His health is not that high though compared to some of the newer heroes, but it could be just the gear. Sooner or later everybody will be normalized using the Omega gear. Okay, so that is a trait, 3% brutal strike chance. Take note of that. It's good stuff, so I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less anyway. It's Wolverine. I think Wolverine should have a brutal. He's pretty brutal. Brutality. Fury. It should come as no surprise that Fury does not come free. You have to earn for it. To earn for it, you have to either take damage or or hit with a basic power. Anything hit with basic will then generate Fury, but there are other ways within the talent tree to talent decision to to generate fury in a different way. All right. The last one is adamantium skeleton, which is a defense and dodge kind of modifier plus the 8% damage reduction for as a melee hero. So that's all on the traits. No complaint on that. Let's take a look at the power itself. 2 trees, Weapon X and the adamantium will. Now, some of you asked, how come what I have is different from what you have in the game? Well, this is test center, so this is just a test center. It's not a live server. You will see this when this patch is out. All right. So now, looking at the weapon X-wise, you should recognize a lot of those icons. So the first one, I mean, you have a basic power, the Swift Claw, that has a that is a basic power. That's it, right? Then you have Bloody Sweep, the one that apply vulnerability as well as the as a bleeding as well. So you have a Grievous Wounds applied to 1 stack. Okay, 1 stack of Grievous Wound. Furious Launch, just launch. Then you have the Tornado Claw, which is there's a cooldown power 6 seconds. You can put it there, and it's sort of a strap in front of you kind of thing. So you may want to try Tornado Claw, or I like Eviscerate, which is one of my favorite powers as well. And for each stack of Grievous Wound, you get an extra kind of like damage as well. You can augment it through the talent. I'll show it a little bit later. But here you don't read it because I haven't added talent to it. So you have Eviscerate. It costs quite a fair bit of fury, 170. Then you have the Crimson Lip as well. One of my favorite power. It costs fury, but in a sense you could actually use it as your you can jump around quite a fair bit, right? So, but it costs fury, so it doesn't come cheap. But but you can always regenerate. Okay, so that is one of them. You can do that. Impel. Now, Impel is interesting. It actually spends all your fury. Again, you can augment it through your talent, but it uses up all your fury. The more fury it is, the better output it will become, and it's 100%. It's always brutal, always brutal. Now, why is it important? It is important. You'll see later. There's some buff on the power that will buff the brutal. So that's one thing. And another thing, Furious Assault, which is your signature power. You can't really see it now. It's just like there's just this guy here. You can't really see it. But what it does is that by doing that, your next Crimson Lip, Impel, or Tornado Claw will become deal 200% more damage and always brutal. So do you want to use it together with the Impel? Up to you. I don't know. I have to go through a number because Impel is already always brutal anyhow. But you can use it together with your Crimson Lip if so you wish to. At least for the build I'm having. All right. So looking at this side, Pharaoh Roar, which is the one that generate 50% of fury. Just now you saw it. So it's a quick way for you to generate fury. But there are also other things that augment stuff as well. Then you have the Savage Slash right now. So you have Savage Slash, which will consume quite a fair bit of the fury as well. You can use it as one of the filler if so you wish to. Then you have the Frenzy. Right now it's bugged. I can't really use it. It doesn't really move anything. It's very strange. And it costs. It's a basic power, but it costs fury. What happens is that if your fury is 0, Impel whatever, then you can't really use this one because even though it is a basic that regenerate fury, but you have to have fury to start with the basic. So you spend 8.5, you earn 25. I think that's how it works. But I'm not really into Frenzy. Don't want to talk too much about it. And by the way, I think some of you be very meticulous looking at my video and spot some of the mistakes I made. Welcome to do so. But because I'm doing it at such a speed that I haven't really understand everything here. So if I make some mistake, apologies in advance. But do point out anything that you find a little bit strange or discrepancy. All right. Wet Word is the one that buff the crit chance and whatever. That is exactly like what you have in the test center live server. And you wonder why I'm not having it. You'll see why. Then you have the Rampage. Just march forward kind of thing, and you have the unstoppable beast as well, which is a trait that you can spend all your fury and you regenerate your health if you can afford the putting in your hotbar here. Then last but not the least, but there's a run through. Don't mind the icon here. So you have the run through that would sort of like 8-second cooldown that would just impel. Well, it's sort of impel in a sense, but it's called run through. All right, so that is the power you have. Now let's take a look at a trait and talent, and why I feel that is rather nice. You have to, you pick your power, but you have to use the talent to make sure that your toolkit works. All right. So first thing first, Fuel to Rage is that the fury generation from all source increased by 20%, and also spending power buff to 10%. So I think this is the one that if you have a lot of fury spending kind of like power, and gradually rather than suddenly like drop to zero like Impel, then maybe it's a good thing that or even Impel maybe, if that's your style, you could manage Fury that way. Another way is that if you are playing the bleed build like what I do, if I want to do bleed build, then this is quite a good kind of like way as well, because I can generate Fury through bleed, and the bleed power damage plus 20%, so that could be rather good as well. So I'm going to pick this one myself. And the third one is that the frenzy, the free restore 50 per second kind of thing. So while you are in combat, you are gaining Fury. So I guess that is also kind of nice if that is what the build that you want. But for me, I'm a bleed kind of like a Wolverine, so I go for this one. All right. Next one is don't get too close. Bloody Sweep has the bonus as well as the 6% kind of cooldown to it. So that is the Bloody Sweep is this one here. So it has a cooldown. Also Savage Slash will have the bonus against the bleeding enemies. 50% against bleeding. So Savage Slash is this one. No, not this one. It's the one that is one of these guys here, right? So if you want to build that as you can have that. And the next one is the Tornado Claw. So you buff the Tornado Claw. And the next one is the Impel gain the following. Now this is interesting. Impel would gain a brutal damage of 25%. Now Impel always brutal, so 25% brutal damage is good, but Fury cost reduction 50%. So once you do Impel, it doesn't stop you from doing any other power because it doesn't drain everything. So for me, because I'm doing Impel bleed, I want this one. All right, so that's why I'm saying you have to build your trait, your talents around the build that you have. Then it become more fun. Otherwise, you're a little bit constrained, because once you do Impel, you have no more Fury, and you have to do a lot of other things to bring the Fury back. But there are other ways as well. This is not the only way. A lot of build variety is through the talent selection that you have. Brutality, Gravest Wound effect increased by 4 seconds. Eviscerate deal 20% more for each of the wounds that you have. So for me, it's Brutality, of course. But what else can you do? You can either just say, I don't want to do bleed. Can I not do bleed? You can just like do a total damage bonus, but you also receive more damage as well. 25% damage bonus, but the 10% more damage received. Right, so that is one thing. Another one is Inexorable Rampage. So if you are doing Rampage, you can always if you build around Rampage, you can pick this one. So I don't, because I do around bleed. Right, so I think Rampage is probably more mobile if you want to just move around and do stuff. Right. Last two. All right, Deep Cuts, Sweet Claw apply vulnerability, increase the damage taken from bleed by 10% up to 100% for 6 seconds. So Sweet Claws is the one that I'm having here as a basic. So obviously I take this one, and because it increased my bleed as well. Everything built around bleed. Next one, Swath of Destruction. You can just say the Bloody Sweep has the bonus of 100%, and become like the cooldown power. If so, you want to keep it as a cooldown power. That could be 2. So it is entirely up to you. And but I kind of want the sweep as something that is spammable in a sense, because as Wolverine, I feel that it's a little bit lacking in the area kind of thing. You can always leap around and do the bleed. So I think I would like to go for this Sweet Claw with Deep Cut. And the last one is Exploit Witness, run through, apply vulnerability. So if you want to play a run through build, then it's good, because you don't have to use the some of this power to apply vulnerability like Bloody Sweep if you don't want to do Bloody Sweep. So again, build variety here for you. Last one, Feral Search, is that the Feral Roar gain the following effect. So you damage reduction as well as the damage resistance, as well as the Fury generation from all source, if that is how you want to play it. Another one is that Web Work automatically trigger when you hit boss or mini boss. No, I take this one because if you think about it, right, when do you use Web Work? Probably against the bosses, and this is rather smart because I don't need that on my hotbar. I mean, automatically it will apply when I start hitting the boss. So I'm really happy with this one. You know, it frees up. I mean, this is the reason why I think the talent should work. Is to remove my need to add more kind of thing onto my hotbar. You know, I wish the magic would work around this one concept a little bit more. But this is a good design, right? This is a good design. But of course, if you say I want to I want to do it myself, then you could have it on your toolbar as well. And last one is that can't keep me down. That's like I think the current live server has it as well. And the other thing, oh no, sorry. I mean, this one is a bit different as well, because even your health is depleted, then your fury become it'll absorb the kind of like a damage and prevent you from that. I think it's a little bit same as the live server. All right, so now that's enough talking, and let's just take action to it. And I'm going to use 2 Wolverine here to just confuse you all. And as far as traveling power is concerned, it's exactly the same. All right, so I'm just going to go in and splash some bleed here. Come on, man, I'm Wolverine. So that is the, I mean, you know, I think you probably agree with me that when it comes to area power, is not really that that strong in terms of Wolverine. For other heroes, this patch will have gone quite fast. I mean, you know, but that's just one of those things in Wolverine. All right, so let's just like oh, I use up all my yep. So impel, eviscerate. I mean, I have to chase boss. I have to go and eviscerate, and then Pharaoh Roar, and then do an impel. If one side impel, and then after that signature, and then do like the Crimson Leap and so on. Yep. Eviscerate, Roar, and impel. Alright, done. Well, it's a little bit, I mean, it's not that fast, and also because I have to, I'm very new to this build, and I have to make sure that I kind of like, when is the cooldown, because I'm not used to having so many cooldown that I have to manage kind of thing. Alright, so that's impel, 500,000 brutal. I don't know whether it's good news or bad news. Anyway, so impel, alright, so that's impel, 500 only, impel, wow. But then again, you can't really compare the old and new world. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I mean, they can put like just 5, doesn't really matter. But I'm comparing against other heroes: spread bleed, and eviscerate, and the signature, and just go and bleed through it. That's it. Impel, all right. So only 500, huh? What gear am I having? Oh, I don't have a. Oh, I don't have a legendary, man. Okay, so whatever you see here, just remember, I don't even have a legendary. I have to give him a legendary, man. I think maybe I should start in the live server, huh? So, okay, no legendary, no wonder. Things are a little bit rough here. But then I have like 2 blessings instead of whatever. I should just level up a legendary for him. Impel, eviscerate. I mean, it's rather durable, right? I mean, he can. Alright, and then after that, yeah, but impel become a cooldown, huh? I don't remember. Was it a cooldown before? Impel, done. Right, so that's done. It would have been nice if I have like better gear, of course, the full blessing as well as the legendary, but without legendary. Alright, so take that into consideration when you see all this video. I think he's probably one of the only one that I do not have a legendary. Why do I not have a legendary on him? Yeah, that's how I sort of like get disappointed with the whole Wolverine thingy. I'm still a little bit worried though. I mean, his area doesn't seem to be that fantastic compared to say some of these other heroes I'm playing on the very same terminal, right? So everything in perspective here, right? Leap in, do an area, leap in, area, leap in, area. I mean, what else can I do? Wow, this is hurting me. Hurting Wolverine. Whoa, this is hurting me. I may even die here, man. Yeah, I was rooted when I was doing impel, but obviously there was nothing to impel on. Come on, man. Alright, 2 bosses. Let me get out and go back in. Oh, because his bubble is there, huh? Oh man, I'm so used to having to, wow, this is like impel. Okay, that was done. Good job, Wolverine. Okay, roar and then do an impel. 700,000. Okay, so now it's the let's do ultimate. I'm going crazy. I'm Wolverine. Yeah, I avoided it, right? So impel. Wow, impel. Well, at least you. Yeah, I try to hit impel, it doesn't work. I don't know why. Yeah, it's one of those things that I don't know why it doesn't feel responsive. And just now I try to hit impel, it just doesn't. I think that maybe some animation, man. Maybe it's the evaporate animation because I have it there. So I have to make sure that when I evaporate, I have to wait for a little while before impel. I don't know. It's just so many impel that I missed. Yeah, I have to review the footage again. So anyhow, I hope you enjoy at least having a preview on what Wolverine is like. Do let me know how you feel about him. I feel that, I mean, it does feel like playing the same old Wolverine, which unfortunately I shelved him. But I don't know, man. I think I'm just, yeah, I think I'm alright. It's just the same old Wolverine. Do let me know how you feel about it. Then I'll try to see what other heroes are playable and I'll show you more. Alright, see you next time. Goodbye.